Hi friends, and welcome to a new year 2023. Oh my goodness, it is almost hard to believe that. Another year under our belts, and it just feels like time speeds up every day, and I think it actually is speeding up. Anyways, I hope that you're all well and that you got through all the holidays with no hitches or unhappy surprises. Hopefully it was all good surprises. Thank you so much for joining me, and if this is your first time to my channel, welcome, and if you have been here before, thank you for coming back. So this week the reading is for January 2nd to the 8th, and I am using 3 decks again this week. So the first, and for the main part of the reading, I am still using the Universal Waite tarot deck, and I will be pulling one card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and this will be our represent our significator card, or the overall theme or energy of the reading. And then I will be doing one card and one row for the, so basically 3 rows. First row is energies we're working through this week on a collective, and then second row will be any surprises, and the third row will represent a message from Mother Mary. Oh, I have pulled that oracle deck, and that is by Alana Fairchild. So I didn't even realize that I had pulled 2 decks of Alana Fairchild. So there we go, my theme for the week. Okay, so let's get started here, and as usual I spent a few minutes and pre-shuffled all the cards so that I wasn't keeping you waiting, because I'm not the fastest shuffler. So, and you know, I don't know, I find some of these cards a little bit too, the deck's a little bit hard, like large for me to handle. Okay. I thought I did a mistake. There are no mistakes when you're doing this. Everything is exactly as it's supposed to be. So I've pulled, to begin with, the Legacy of Light. So this is affecting change. How, well, I mean, that's just what I'm picking up, you know, right off the bat. It's just how, as we step into our truer selves, or true selves, and acknowledge and know in the core of our being, and following our resonance, how that affects the generations to come, because you know we're changing how we be in the world, on the world. Okay, and last but not least, certainly not least, oh my goodness, a message from Mother Mary. Okay, so the Legacy of Light, yes, so that is the overall theme of the reading this week, or the significator card, or the energies. So stepping more into our power and more into holding more of our higher consciousness, our higher selves. So more light energy being held in our bodies, awakening within us, like our purpose, our divine purpose, or mission for coming to the planet at this time. And so it's happening for a lot of us. So we're getting like clues and ideas and inspirations on where to go. And you know, it's not about seeing the whole picture. You know, it's like little pieces of a puzzle. We might have a feeling of where we're going, but we might not in our minds, no. So it's learning to trust that, trust ourselves. Okay, so we're starting off with the Two of Wands. So this feels like it's the beginning, and oftentimes these readings seem to follow along the same kind of route. Lots of new beginnings. So we are, because it really is, it's a beginning. We're being different. We're starting new things. There's lots of navigating and changing and being flexible, because things are changing. Nothing is permanent. And I think the old paradigm of things being permanent and solid, having a solid foundation underneath us, is changing. And a lot of us are waking up and realizing that that isn't so. That you can't go and work for a company, for your whole life and then know that you'll retire and have a benefit package. And, it's becoming more and more rare, or, you do, but you can't, the security isn't there in terms of job security, or, and home life is changing, and economy is changing, and how we live through our day. And anyways, like, our lives are changing so much. So much is unpredictable. So it's about being flexible, but it's also realizing there's an opportunity in this, or recognizing that. So this Two of Wands is asking you, and this is where we're at. We're looking at what brings us joy. Like, let's step out of fear and chaos, that we can see happening around us, but let's look at the opportunity here to step into our power and realize we're not victims of all this. So what brings us joy? What brings us passion? And it's about connecting to that and then imagining that into the world, or into being. So what are you dreaming about? And this is about us dreaming, and about kind of like how the world could be, with your place in it, and stepping into what really you're feeling called to do. And yeah, I think that's about right. So it's looking at the bigger picture of dreaming about where you want to go. Okay, and then so I'm actually going to read the cards a little bit different. Usually I go down, but I'm actually going to read them across. So, and then we have the Seven of Cups. So in your dreaming, this is about your choices. So in your dreaming about what you want to do with your life and what you want to offer to the planet, you have choices. And so it's recognizing your choices and feeling which one feels the lightest, like what feels the best. So there's choices being represented here, and some will lead you off the path and some will lead you more directly onto the path, but it's all your choice. There is no right or wrong in this. It's just what you want to do or where you're called to go, but it's just coming into the, your life differently in a new way. And I'm sorry, my dog is asking for a treat. He just brought the ball over. Jackson, this isn't a good time, bud. I'm sorry. Oh, come here. You want to say hello? There he is. Mr. Jackson, say hello. Hi. Brief intermission. There you go, sweetie. Well, I'll give you a treat afterwards, okay? You have to be patient. This isn't a good time. Okay, sorry about that. So, and then that is followed by, so we have choices. So that's followed by the Nine of Wands. So this really feels to me like, this feels like a bunch of things to me. So it feels like, okay, there's these things that you maybe feel called to do or that you want to do, or these choices you're looking at, but then you're looking at them through fears or past failures, or like you've tried it before. So, do you want to risk it again? So it could be that, or it could be, you've been through so much. It's like the wounded warrior, but you've healed and you've come through it and you're ready to just put yourself out there. So it could also be that. So it really depends on your perspective. So, but moving forward, I feel like actually, based on the cards, it's not about the fears holding you back from trying, but it is more about you have something to offer the world, and knowing you have something to offer through the experiences that you've lived through and healed and come into a deeper, richer understanding about you and your life and the meaning of it. So in that whole process, there is the Judgment card. So as you make these decisions or feel stepping into this calling and where you're going, it's like there's an aspect of enlightenment and stepping into that role. It's like just waking up more to your life's path and purpose. And and then we have the Eight of Wands. So lots of wands happening here. So this is really, I feel very, very, very directed towards spirit this week, because with that Eight of Wands, we have, it feels like rapid movement, like things are just going to take off like a lot quicker than you think they are. Like once you make this decision and almost like, yep, I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna do. You make your decision. You feel you have lots of to offer. You've put, in that Two of Wands at the beginning, kind of what you're dreaming out into the world, like into the vortex, and then it's like the universe goes, yep, okay, the time is now, and then things take off very quickly. So that's Eight of Wands is followed by the Hermit. So the Hermit is about going in, and I feel like it's staying grounded and connected with your source, like the inner you, your higher self, all that, the creator, all that. So that is kind of what's guiding you and keeping you on a steady path. So even though, yes, it's grounding that higher aspect of you into the body, and that's what directs you or guides you. Also with that light in the lantern, that's what's leading you or guiding you, your light. So your inner light. So following that, we have the Six of Pentacles. So, and I feel like this is very balanced. So it's like it's a balancing, a give and take. So balancing the spiritual, like the things that you can't see but you can feel, with the external physical aspects of you in your life. And I feel like there's a lot of discernment, but it's discernment over how are you spending your energy, and are you getting in return what you're putting out? Are you using your energy in the best way that is going to serve you, or are you wasting it on non-necessary things? So are you giving too much and not keeping enough back for yourself, for instance? So what is the balance, and what works for you? And it is keeping in tune with that. And I think that also in that card, it is representing, oh my gosh, this is actually a really good reading. It just flows so well. That, it's having that awareness, and maybe in a way that you haven't done before, because with a Judgment card right above it, it's about just having that awareness. And I think, well, I just said that. So I feel like that's why is that Judgment card as well, is just, it's recognizing those aspects where you maybe haven't before, but it's having that discernment and awareness, and then choosing what works best for you. And I feel like, okay, following that, we have the Justice card. And again, we have those scales, right? So the scales are being shown 2 times right side by side. And so it's about knowing what works best for you, because it might not work for somebody else, but what is best for you. So again, finding that balance, choosing based on that, on what's best for you, and just going for it, and not having to explain anything to anybody, but just, what you're doing you're following your path and what you're like, you're being self-guided. And then finally, we have the Six of Wands. So, yeah, so again, it is, you know, that's victory, success. It's being recognized, you know, but because this is like the way this reading is going, I don't feel like this is, you know, being recognized externally. It could very much be that, being recognized for your achievements or the changes happening within you. But I feel like this is more internally, that you recognize these growth, these steps, advancements yourself, and which makes you more confident and self-assured, and just very clear, more clear on the path you are taking. And with that white horse, it indicates that you are supported, so supported by the universe and spirit as you are doing this. Okay, so, and then the final card was a message from Our Lady of the Dark Mysteries, is the card that we got, the message from the Mother Mary Oracle. And I'm sorry, I do have to read this. Our Lady of the Dark Mysteries. And I want to read some of this to you so that I don't get it wrong, because it is, her messages are always exactly what you need to hear, even though they might not make sense at the time. Let's see. I'm just wondering what part to read you here. Okay. It can be easier to sense the presence of the Divine Mother when she appears through her light face in compassion, gentleness, and charity. It can be more challenging to accept and honor her presence through her dark face. Her dark face may be manifesting through death or loss, through tragedy, trauma, or crisis, through confusion, or even through meeting our own inner demons of great fear, attachment, or hate. Her dark face is no less loving than her face of light, no less radiant, though one may have to look through the eye of the heart to see the vivid light that may seem veiled through circumstance. So this is a reminder that even though things may appear dark, or you're going through a really challenging time, or you're experiencing loss or grief or fear or any of the other things that feel like they're opposite of love and light, it's all part of the greater experience, and everything comes to you through love. Everything is love because you are loved, and it's all for you. It's all happening for you. Everything is divinely timed, and it's all for the greater good, even though it doesn't feel like it at the time. Just trust that it is. And everything is temporary. So with the highs come the lows, and there is a balance to it, and it's all for our growth and to experience the richness of the contrast of the feelings and the experiences. On that note, thank you again so much for joining me, and please be well and know that you are loved, and you are love, and that I love you. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.